Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Today, what we're going to be musing about A Game of Thrones, which I am reading for the first time. I am finally continuing the series that I started last year. I got all the way up to chapter 22, and now I am on chapter 23. It is Daenerys. It is about Daenerys. It is the third point of view chapter from the Khaleesi. Here is the link to the a wiki of Ice and Fire, which I am using as a guideline through this. And I'll be sharing the screen in just a moment. But there it is, and I'll also be putting it in the description for this video. So what is so important about this chapter? I kind of gave it away because I called her the Khaleesi. But before this, she really is not the Khaleesi. She does not call herself the Khaleesi until this chapter. So this is a very, very empowering chapter for Daenerys. This is a very empowering chapter for Daenerys. She's out riding, minding her own business with Jorah, and she decides she wants to go out by herself. She wants to go out by herself. And when she does, she commands that the rest stay behind. That included her brother Viserys, the rather psychopathic, crazy, and we find out in this chapter, quite lame brother. Lame in the sense of useless, absolutely useless. He decides to throw a hissy fit because that's just what he does. What's really stupid, though, is he forgets she is now the queen, and he lays his hands on her, he threatens her. When that happened in the book, and also I recall this from the TV series, it was, I can't believe this idiot. This is going to go badly because she is a queen. And sure enough, one of the Dothraki dudes like takes a whip and knocks him down, and then says, "Do you want me to kill him for you, Khaleesi, dude?" Because if you touch the queen, that is an offense that merits death. Well, Daenerys says, "No, don't kill him." But she decides to then humiliate her brother because she realized he is nothing. He is nothing. And she makes him walk back, not on a horse. And for this culture, that is an incredible humiliation. It's basically saying he is not a man. So finally, Daenerys empowers herself against her brother, becomes a Khaleesi. That is who she is. She is no longer really, from what we're seeing, identifying as the Targaryen. Not yet. We're going to get there. Then she goes into her tent and sees her little dragon eggs. There's a really cool point where they seem to light up like with fire. She says, "Oh, maybe it's just a trick of the light." And maybe it is, but maybe it isn't, because we know later that the Lord of Light and Fire and all that is going to play a big part in the story. And then she also sits around and thinks about, well, is it going to be the dragons perhaps were real? Is that really what's going to happen? She's wondering upon it. And as she does, it's so foreshadowing. I don't know why I didn't see it coming. I knew there was going to be something coming with the dragons when I saw it in the show. But it's really a neat point where George R. R. Martin just keeps dropping these little hints. He keeps dropping these little hints. So I enjoyed that. The second empowerment that she's going to be doing has to do with in her marriage. She has a little talk with one of her handmaidens. Unlike in the TV show, they just sit and talk. We can just imagine what they're talking about. And then when Aquaman comes in later that evening to be the husband, she leads him out into the sky and, how did you put it, takes control of the situation. She is truly coming into her own. And I got so freaked out, though, because it said she was only 14. Here she is coming to her own. She's powerful. She just made herself powerful, if you will, over her husband. And she's also pregnant. So that chapter ended with a little bit of a jolt when I realized how old she was, but I also liked the fact that subtly, without knocking us over the head, George R. R. Martin is showing us that Daenerys is a force to be reckoned with, and perhaps even foreshadowing ultimately what she's going to end up doing with her brother, or at least at her word, if that's the way it happens in the book, if it happens to show. So that is reading Game of Thrones for the first time, chapter 23, the Daenerys chapter. I'm looking forward to going over some of my thoughts in the next chapter, chapter 24. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a nice evening, have a nice day, have a nice morning, have a nice afternoon, and be certain if you are a loser named Viserys, do not lay your hands on the queen. Do not do that. Know your place.